Welcome back to SFL Nights with AJ Strager.
Hey, and what's up, SFL Nation? Welcome back to SFL Nights with AJ Stryker. Thank you so much for joining me today or tonight or whenever you decide to hit that play button or turn on that radio dial. I really appreciate it, y'all. Special thanks to my son for giving me that little intro. I really appreciate it, my dear. And he's 4 years old, by the way. And I actually caught him repeating me, and I had to record it. And I played it back for him, and he was so happy. So I said I was going to use it in the show, and I did. Well, welcome back, everybody. Whether you're on the radio, whether you've tuned in via Anchor, whether you tuned in via YouTube, just thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. I have a great show for you tonight. Basically, most of it is going to be interviews this time. I will have my Week 8 review for you for the SFLM season. We are coming upon the end of it, and it's some great games that happen too. Then, for my fourth and goal interview, I have Mr. Emmanuel Blackman, rookie, for Ottawa Cavalry. I also have Mr. Benjamin Warner and Mr. Fox Highwind. Both of them are free agents. Will they tell me where they're thinking about going? I don't know. You have to stay tuned to find out. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. All right, so before I start with my review, I wanted to give a special thanks to people that have helped me to make this podcast what it is. This week I'm going to be thanking everyone that has made graphics for me for over the 2+ years that I've been doing this. I've been posting podcasts every week, sometimes 2 and 3 times a week ever since 2018, and you don't really realize how much you've done until it all comes back to, until you really take the time out to really think about what's going on. And I just want to say a special thank you, a special shout out to Mr. TJ Punk Baby, new member of the Arizona Scorpions. Well, actually, he's been on the team before. He left to go to Mexico City, and then he came back to us, so thank you, man. Joshua Williams, big ups to you too. And I'm actually going to have everything that these people have done for me towards the end of the show, so you can see all the different ways that the show's graphics has grown too. Jet, which used to be an old member of our community, great guy too. Of course, Mr. Brian Dynasty, Mr. Hairflip himself. He was one of the ones that did some of my original stuff. So Brian, special thanks goes out to you too, brother. Tom Welsh has done my motion graphics, and I'm grateful for that too. Great guy. And Epic Esports has done something for me, as well as Jacob Clear. If I missed you, please forgive me. Let me know, and I'll make sure I give you credit in my next show. But guys, I would not have my opening graphics. I would not have my in-between graphics and things like that without you. So thank you for your time. Thank you for looking out for me. And when I get rich, I got you. Now, SFLM review for Week 8. Okay, so I chose the Navigators, the Cavalry, the Memphis River Runners, and the Salt Lake City Rustlers for Week 8. Let's see how everything shook out for me. So, the Annapolis Navigators took on the Albuquerque Adams, and Albuquerque won 33-20. Was I right about this game?
No.
It was a close game until the Adams scored 10 points in the second and the third and ran away with the win. They couldn't come back on them. The Navies had 389 yards passing, 63 yards rushing, 452 yards total. Their time of possession was 22 minutes and 38 seconds. They also had the ball. Well, they had 7 points in the first, 3 points in the second, and 3 and the third, and 7 points in the fourth. The Adams had 343 yards passing, 163 yards rushing, 506 total yards. Oh, total yards of offense. That is awesome. Time of possession was 21 minutes and 22 seconds. They scored 6 points in the first, 10 points in the second, 10 points in the third, and 7 points in the fourth. Player of the game was quarterback P.J. Slaughter with 20 completions for 31 attempts, 343 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a quarterback rating of 110. Woo! Also on Saturday, the 28th, I think I forgot to mention that to you guys earlier. It was this past Saturday. The Ottawa Cavalry took on the Madison Lynx, and Ottawa won 17-7. Was I right about this game?
Yeah.
The Ottawa defense helped get a big win by holding the Lynx to only a touchdown in the third. The Cavalry had 229 yards passing, 70 yards rushing, 299 yards total. Time of possession was 25 minutes and 33 seconds. They had 14 points in the second and 3 in the fourth. Madison had 91 yards passing, 91 yards rushing for a total of 190 points of offense. Time of possession was 17 minutes and 33 seconds, and they only scored a touchdown, like I said before, in the third quarter. Player of the game was halfback Kevin Say with 26 attempts, 79 yards, 1 touchdown, and 19 reception yards. Also on the 28th, the San Jose Flight took on the Memphis River Runners, and the Flight won their first game. Congratulations to all Flight members. I knew y'all could do it. Memphis, you had to be the one that they got that win on, but I'm really happy to see that they did get it. Was I right about this game though?
No.
San Jose Flight took their first win with excitement, and Memphis had 292 yards passing, 33 yards rushing, 325 yards total. Time of possession was 18 minutes and 38 seconds with 1 turnover. They also had 3 points in the second, 7 points in the third, and 7 in the fourth. The Flight had 231 yards passing, 139 yards rushing for 370 yards total. They held the ball for 24 minutes and 24 seconds with no mistakes. They had 10 in the first, 7 in the second, 7 and 10 points in the third, and 3 points in the fourth. Player of the game was halfback Jimmy Hug Power Hazard. 17 attempts, 142 yards, 1 touchdown, and 28 reception yards. Lastly, the Tacoma Grizzlies took on the Salt Lake City Rustlers, and Tacoma won 23-17. Was I right about this game?
No.
Double overtime drama has had neither team wanting to surrender, but Salt Lake wound up taking the L in the second overtime. Tacoma Grizzlies scored a touchdown, and it was a great game to see. We were all tired after that game. It was nuts. Tacoma had 323 yards passing, 59 yards rushing, and 382 yards total. They held the ball for 23 minutes and 25 seconds with 2 turnovers. They had 7 points in the second, 10 points in the fourth, and 6 in double overtime. The Salt Lake City Rustlers had 340 yards passing, 93 yards rushing, and 433 yards total. Their time of possession was 36 minutes and 18 seconds with 2 turnovers. They also had 3 points in the second and 14 in the fourth. Player of the game was wide receiver Chris Lee with 12 receptions, 183 yards, 1 touchdown, and 15.3 yards per catch. So congratulations to everyone that won. Seems like y'all like proving me wrong, huh? Sorry. But week 9, the last week of our SFLM season, regular season, is coming up, and these games are slated for the 4th, December the 4th. And the graphic that you're going to see is actually, it has the wrong times. This was on the website. They haven't updated that yet. But I do have the right times and the stations for you. So on December the 4th, Madison Lynx will be taking on the Salt Lake City Rustlers at 6:30 p.m. on our SFL Twitch channel. And I am going to go with the Madison Lynx on this one. December the 4th, 6:45 p.m., the Albuquerque Adams will be taking on the Birmingham Fuel on our YouTube, SFL YouTube channel, which all the links will be in the description, by the way. And I am going to Fuel or Albuquerque. I think I'm going to go with Albuquerque on this one. Also on the 4th, Memphis River Runners will be taking on the Ottawa Cavalry, and I'm going to go with Ottawa on this one on our Twitch channel, SFL Twitch channel. And lastly, at 9:15 p.m., the Annapolis Navigators will be taking on the Tacoma Grizzlies on our SFL YouTube channel, and I am going to go with Annapolis on this one. So, good luck, guys. And just as a side note, I've got some information about our All-Star game. It will be taking place on Sunday, December the 6th at 7 p.m. Eastern on our SFL Twitch channel that will be located in the description. East will be taking on the West, and the coaches for the East will be Tanner Hendricks and Jack Wigmore, and coaches for the West will be Jacob Clear and Jacob Bovette. Our fantastic announcers for that game will be Commissioner Cameron Irvine and Matt Wilson. On stats, we will have Mark Lopez. So it should be an absolutely fantastic game to watch. All the superstars will be taking the field to show what you got. So I hope to see you there for that. And stay tuned to my 4th and goal interview. Right, everybody, welcome back to my 4th and goal interview. Tonight's guest is Mr. Benjamin Warner of the former Chicago Wildcats, testing out free agency. So, Mr. Warner, how you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for having me on your show. I'm a frequent listener, so I'm really honored to be here tonight.
And I'm really honored to have you. I don't meet, well, people tell me that they listen to the show, but there is like a core group of like 20 to 30 people that as soon as the show comes out, they're always there. So I'm thinking that you may be one of those people.
I am. I make sure to put the fire emote in the chat box when you put your show up, because the show is fantastic, and it's just really cool to see what everybody does in this league for show. I had my own show, and it's just really cool to do that. But yeah, and you're a community ambassador 3 times, so it's awesome.
Yeah, it was an honor, to be the community ambassador. I took that job really seriously. It wasn't just a title for me. Mm-hmm. Like checking on people, making sure the community was actually good, making sure I was there for anybody that needed me, and still is. So, even though I'm not the community ambassador anymore, mm-hmm. I am still at heart always. But thank you so much, man, for tuning in always. And as I'm starting to tell everybody, hey, if you have any questions for me at the end, please feel free to ask. And I'll be happy to entertain them for you. But let's get to know you, Mr. Warner. So give us some interesting facts about yourself, along with your age, hometown, and your favorite NFL team.
Yeah, so I'm 21. I'm from Nashville, New Hampshire. I'm currently a senior at St. Anselm College. I'm studying political science. I have a big senior thesis defense next Wednesday, so that's really counts on. If I can successfully defend it, I will graduate college. So it's really, yeah. So
no pressure.
No, it was a huge paper, but my teachers are really helpful with that. But my favorite football team is the New England Patriots.
Hence that picture that you have up there.
Yep. Julian Edelman, my favorite wide receiver.
It's okay, I'll deal with it this time. Well, welcome there. So you got this thesis that if basically you don't defend it, that you don't graduate, huh?
Yeah. So my teacher ended up having emergency surgery, so our defense got pushed back. But from what I've been hearing from a couple of other of my friends who have already done it, it's not as bad as it seems. So people will pass, but you just got to go there and do it. But they said the questions weren't as hard, so it brought my anxiety levels down a bit. So
good. Well, yeah. I believe in you. You got this.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of my friends have been saying that, which is nice, just because it was such a. I get anxious sometimes and nervous, especially with a school project like this. So it was just intense. But yeah, I have a feeling that I'm going to do well, and I've just got to be really confident going in there and prepared.
And you will be. I'm sure you will be. So tell us, how did you find the league?
Oh yeah, so it was the end of last year when the Patriots got knocked out of the playoffs, and I wasn't quite ready to be done watching football. So I was just searching around on the internet, and I came across the SFL on YouTube and Twitch, and I was really interested in it, and I started watching games. And I didn't know that it was actual people, like, you know, I thought it was just some people playing against each other, but it's just a simulated game and there are people announcing. And then it said, oh, go check out the YouTube page, or not the YouTube, the Discord channel. So I went there and I just looked over the information and I got really interested in it, and that's why I joined.
Well, good, man. I'm glad that you did. So, with the Chicago situation and how, you know, the team is no longer available, was that the reason that you basically left Chicago? Because I know that Tom and Ray took over that franchise and moved them to LA. So did you just want to kind of test waters at different places, or?
Yeah, it was a bit of that. I was really unsure what was going to happen before they had got the team. And I in the SFL minors, I was a wide receiver, and I ended up taking the tight end position as a secondary position, which Chicago drafted me at. But I don't know, I just like wide receiver better. And no offense to Chicago or anything, but I don't know. It was none of the players, but I just needed to get away from that, from what happened and stuff, and kind of move on, because it was just not a situation coming in my first year that I really wanted to be a part of. But I'm sure Tom and Ray they're always active in the chat. They're really nice people. So I'm sure they're going to do a great job with that franchise.
Definitely. And I did see, you know, some of the stats that you have, and I can tell that you were a second string.
Yeah.
You didn't put up too much, only 14 receptions and 91 yards, but I'm sure wherever you go, you will definitely be utilized more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And honestly, I'm not a person that really cares about stats.
Okay.
Whatever the game plan is, whatever the best game plan the coaches put forward, that's all I care about. And if it means me catching only one pass a game, that's fine with me, as long as we're playing hard and trying to win games. That's all I care about, and having fun with my teammates.
So tight end wasn't something that you really wanted to do, or was it just that was what was available to you at the time?
Yeah, so as a Patriots fan, I've always loved Rob Gronkowski too, so that's why I picked that position. You know, I don't know. I just really wanted to play in the majors, and it was nothing against Ottawa, because I love that team. I still do, but I just wanted to take a position in the majors to play there. So I just opted to take tight end, and I was perfectly fine with the second string tight end. But now I'm going to go back to my primary position.
Yeah, 6'5", 245 pounds, pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was good at blocking, I can tell you that. So I may not have been catching, but I was opening holes for Ash Odom and then Robert Johnson.
So tell us about your experience when you first started with Ottawa for the SFLM. For those that were maybe a little late joining, they want to kind of hear about that.
Yeah, so actually I did start with Charleston before that. I was the non-contract punter when they had non-contract players, and then punting was never a position that I wanted to carry forward. So I had picked quarterback, wide receiver, and corner, and I was assigned as wide receiver to Ottawa. It was a really fun experience. I mean, I met so many people like Art Vandelay, Kevin Say, Gene, Coach, and stuff like that. They were Javier Vasquez. You know, that locker room was just so fun to be a part of, because everybody had such a unique perspective on, you know, life and football, and it was just the jokes made. It was just really fun to be a part of that locker room. So, and we went to the SFLM championship too. We didn't win, but you know, it was really cool to be a part of the first one.
Absolutely.
With my teammates. Yeah.
Not too many people can say that they've been to the championship, period. So that's awesome, man. Tell me, do you want to get involved with the league in any other aspect besides being a player? Would you like to be on the beat writing team, or perhaps try your hand at broadcasting, anything of that nature?
Yeah, I always loved broadcasting. I had my own show at Chicago with Khalil Thomas. It was really fun to do that, but time constraints ended up we weren't allowed to do it just because of personal lives got so busy. But broadcasting would be something I'm interested in down the line. Once school gets done, it's not as hectic. I may try my hand in that. I already do stats. I work for the stats team, and that's always fun because I love stats. But other than that, no, I'm not so much fond of writing. I'm more of a kind of a speaker and broadcaster type person. So.
Okay, cool. So with the stats, can you describe what you actually do for stats for people that don't know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and they're always looking for new people to join. So, it is a really good way to kind of see the behind the scenes. So what happens is you join the Discord channel about 15 minutes before the game. And Mark Lopez has this Google Docs set up where you have all the stats. So when each time a play happens, so if you're doing offense, I normally have a piece of paper on the side. So I mark which yard line they're on. And then after the play is over, I add the next yard line. So say they start the ball at the 32 and it's like a 5-yard pass play, I put 37. And then inside the Google Doc, you click a check mark saying that it's a pass, and then you add the yardage to that. And you keep doing that throughout the game. On the defensive side of the ball, you just check off if it's tackle, interception. But it's just so cool because you're muted the whole time, but you get to hear Cam producing the show behind the scenes, something that you don't hear on a Twitch broadcast or a YouTube broadcast. So I've always loved that part about it, because he's talking to the broadcasters about what they're going to talk about next. He's preparing, what's not the slides, but like the graphics he's going to put up next. So yeah, it's a really awesome opportunity if you're ever interested to see what's going on behind the scenes.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that. All right. So since you are a free agent, what are you looking for in the team that will select you? Like what are some key points that you're looking for in the locker room, in the coaching aspect? Yeah,
so I think in the locker room, just a fun and family environment, somewhere you can just go in, because I kind of use the SFL as a place to kind of get away from real life. And, with everything going on right now with COVID and school, it kind of just provides a place where I can be anxiety free. So just a locker room that's fun. We can have conversations about our lives or the SFL games or whatever. I think coaching, just, people that care. I think, it's not about winning or losing. I just want coaches that are hardworking. If I can help out in any way, I certainly will. But because I've done scouting in the past, but just people that care and work hard. Win or lose, it doesn't really matter. But it's just as long as they care, that's all that matters.
And you've done scouting before?
Yeah, I have. I did scouting with Charleston and Ottawa. I don't mind doing it. I've been more into the broadcasting portion, like working on shows and stuff. But yeah, I've done scouting. I've looked at blitzes and the run-pass ratio. So yeah, that was always fun. I came into the league actually more interested in coaching, but then I kind of changed my mindset after the SFL.
Well, is that something that you would consider doing perhaps later on down the road? Would you like to be a coach? Yeah.
Yeah, I have the game. I haven't really worked with All-Pro Football Editor yet, but it's something down the line that once I'm out of school, maybe next summer, something I'll look into.
Concentrate on school first. Get out.
Yeah. It's just the time. It's could be time consuming, and I just want to kind of adjust based off when I have more time.
So Chicago's locker room was often viewed as being sort of a quiet locker room. Tell us, who is Benjamin Warner, the player? What type of person are you in the locker room?
Yeah, I could be considered quiet sometimes. I don't really talk in the Gen chat. Sometimes I'll poke in. I'm more quiet and or more talkative in DMs with friends of mine, or just the regular locker room. But I'm always, before games, I always post a GIF of Ray Lewis dancing, getting ready for game time, and sometimes I can be active in the locker room chat feature during games and talking with my teammates while the game's happening. So, I'm not as quiet. Once I get to know you, I'm more of a talkative person.
And I understand that. No worries.
Mm-hmm.
Good. And with you being on the show kind of helps, people get to know a little bit about you to kind of start those conversations with you too. So
yeah, and the one thing about the SFL, like I said, I've been a quiet person my whole life, and it's brought out this side in me that I really didn't know existed. I'm more talkative now, and I'm less afraid of speaking in public with more groups of people. So yeah, that's one thing I'm really thankful for, is the SFL bringing that side out of me.
Oh, definitely. I mean, you can definitely find out what you're made of and what you are capable of, I should say, being here. Because a lot of people in their real lives would have never been a broadcaster or writing articles or, doing the things that we do here. And you get that practice, you get that knowledge here. And who knows, maybe you can take what you learn here and branch out into other parts, in real life, use it for real life. So I love it. And so last question for you. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years, in life and in the SFL?
So in life, I'm planning to take a gap year off next year and to find a job. And then the year after that, I plan on joining the military, either the Army or the Air Force. So that's where I see myself in 5 years and later on in life, joining the military. In the SFL, just to find a team that I can be a part of for a long time. Before the Chicago thing happened, I was, prepared to stay there for a long time in my career. But then everything happened and now I need to find a new team. But I definitely I'm not a person that wants to switch teams every year. I definitely want to find a team and stay there for a long time in my SFL career.
Okay, cool. So when you say you wanted to join the service, is there a particular reason why?
A lot of my family members have served. And I think it's important to kind of do my service to protect people, because I've had that for the first 21 years of my life from everybody else serving in the military. And I think it's a part of your duty to protect your nation from enemies abroad. And I've always been interested in joining the military and do my service for my country, because I love it. Love my nation, and it's the best country in the world.
Well, I will say this: we have a lot of servicemen.
We do, yeah.
So you can get real-time stories.
Yeah.
About what you're getting ready to go through. So that's awesome, man. And I wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors and all that you do.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And thank you for being on the show, Benjamin. Did you have any questions for me before I do my
yeah. I wanted to know, what has it been like playing for Arizona and being quarterback?
It's hot in Arizona. First off. It's been a wonderful experience. Although we grow every year, every season. Last season, we were kind of testing the waters with a different playbook, different gaming scheme, because I'm a passer. I love to pass.
Yeah.
So we were trying, but people know that. So we were just like, hey, let's just try to switch things up a little bit. Unfortunately, things did not really pan out the way we wanted to, even though we did it was a heck of a difference from season 14 to season 15. So I'm really happy with what we got going on. I'm really excited for this season, because we did make some more changes. We're going to bring in some more great people that's going to help out tremendously.
Yeah, I saw you got somebody in free agency, a verbal commitment. Eddie posted that today, so congrats on that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we're trying to compete.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been an enjoyable experience being a GM over there, trying to keep the locker room involved, trying to make sure I do all the historical stats for every person, in basically capturing every move that they've ever made in the SFL,
putting it on a spreadsheet for all 20 players. It can be a little daunting, but once you get it done, all you're doing is just adding to it.
That's it. If in Chicago, we had our own thing, and there was just so many stats, and I was like, wow, just to start that, like, it must be very time consuming. But like you said, once you can kind of get that all set up, like the template out, then you can just easily put stats in.
And that's what I'm normally spending my off seasons doing, just making sure everybody's stats are right and everything, and making sure teams have what they need. And then we're going to shift into draft mode, where you talk to 100 people, basically.
Yep. I remember that last year, having to contact a lot of owners. So that's always a fun experience, but it's nice that you have owners coming to you this time around in free agency.
Yes.
So that's always nice.
Is there a team that you're really interested in?
I've made a commitment already to a team. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, don't ruin it. Listen.
No, I'm not going to say it. No, I've been waiting for a couple months now. So it's 2 more days and then I can finally say it.
Awesome. And then like once the season starts, if you want to come back and then give us basically an update on how you're doing and how you're fitting in with the new team, it's going to be awesome, man. Certainly.
Yeah, I'd love to come on your show again, and really thank you for having me on today, and I wish you all the best of luck in Arizona this year. I can't wait to see what you guys do. And
wherever you go, I wish you the best of luck too, except when we play each other.
Yeah.
That's it. But before I let you go, I have to give you the last word. So that can be a song, that can be a poem, or that can be a simple shout out. Right now, the floor is yours.
Okay, so I want to give out a shout out. I've already done this on the D-Axis show, but a shout out to Khalil Thomas, one of the best friends I have made in the SFL so far. I just want to thank him for, working on the Chicago Wildcat show with me and just being talkative and being friends with me. I can't wait to see where he goes in free agency. So I'm wishing him all the luck, and I can't wait to see what he does. So
wouldn't it be great if both of y'all could be on the same team?
I know. I hope. I'll have to wait and see on Monday or Tuesday, but yeah. So shout out to Khalil for being.
Are you going to take your show to the new team too?
I'm not going to say it because I got to be silent on that. You'll find out though. So.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, thank you, Benjamin. I appreciate you for coming out.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
You too, dear. Thank you. Bye. All right, and welcome back to my 4th and Goal interview, ×2. I have with me Mr. Fox Highwind, former member of the London Knights. There, he was a wide receiver. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, AJ. How you been?
I've been blessed, man. I've been working and, trying to stay healthy, most important.
Same here. I understand.
Definitely. So I'm glad to have you on the show, back on again, because you were on, I think you've been on the show maybe once or twice, right?
Twice. Yeah, twice.
Yeah.
It's been a while, though.
It has. A little bit too long, but no, we're not going to talk about it.
That's okay.
But for those that did not get a chance to hear those past 2 shows, would you mind giving us a brief overview of yourself? So, your age, hometown, your name, if you would like to. Age, hometown, some interesting facts, and your favorite NFL team.
Okay, so I'll see if I can remember all that. I'm 41. I'm originally from Chattanooga, Tennessee, and right now I reside in McMinnville, Tennessee. My name is unimportant, and my favorite NFL team really is the Falcons, but I'm also a big Titans fan too. Okay, so good. Another fellow Falcons fan. That's a tongue twister right there. Right? Exactly. Yeah, I grew up watching the Falcons, and of course, when Tennessee got a team, then I got to root for them. Oh, I understand that too. It's too bad that they're not doing as well as they were slated, but I honestly haven't even followed the NFL this year for the first time since I started watching. So you don't want to see it. No, I don't think I do. All right. So, Fox, just a reminder, how did you find out about us?
How did you find about the league?
My brother-in-law, he told me that he had seen it on Pluto, and I went and watched a couple of videos, watched the season 13 championship game, and then just kind of joined, see what it was about, and that was pretty cool. So I stayed around.
Cool. Now, do you play sports, or have you played sports?
I did play sports back in high school, but I went to a private school, so we didn't play like intramural. We just played intramural, not against other schools. But what I like to play, I was really good at badminton.
Oh, okay, nice. I haven't played badminton in many moons.
I used to be terrible at it in middle school, and the first time I picked it up in high school, I was really good. So I just stuck with that.
You had to build up, I guess.
Yes, I mean, it was just like terrible one day and then really good the next.
Yeah, that's all it was. You just had to build up to that point there. That's all.
Yep.
So you were on the London Knights as their wide receiver. I'm looking at your stats right now.
Yes, ma'am.
And you did pretty decently. What were you, wide receiver 1 or 2? 2.
Vin Kalia was wide receiver 1.
Okay, so tell us how you actually enjoy being in the London locker room.
The London locker room was actually pretty good. I wasn't able to be in the locker room as much as I have been when I was non-contract with Atlanta and then with Boise. But when I was in there, everybody's positive. Everybody's, got a good feeling towards each game, no matter how we did. Win or lose, it was always on to the next one, and we're going to get better. Which
was a good thing to have that, because you can easily be discouraged as a player when your team is not doing too well. And, you guys won 2 games total this year. One was,
but we were in a lot of games though. We were within one score in at least half the games that we lost. We only got blown out really a couple of times, but no matter how it was, whether it was really close or whether it was a blowout, there was always positivity in the locker room.
Yeah, which is a good thing. I mean, hey, you got a win over the Arizona Scorpions. And
I apologize for that to you personally. You were not happy.
I wasn't. I mean, I understand, but you know how when you're like, oh yeah, the whole community is gonna go with the Arizona Scorpions, and then that's the one team that just, not today.
Well, we were due. We all said that we were due.
I mean, but y'all could have did that the week after, or the week
did.
before. You did, actually.
Yeah, we did.
With Carolina. So hey, yeah, y'all had some times where you definitely did shine. So tell me, what made you decide to test out free agency?
Well, coming into the league, I had been, I was a running back in the minors with Boise, who is now gone. And I turned into a wide receiver for London, and I wanted to kind of test out free agency just to see what else was out there. I didn't get a whole lot of interest during the draft, except for a couple of teams at other positions, and then Liam offered me wide receiver, so I snatched it up. I wanted to be a wide receiver when I first came into the league. But I kind of wanted to see what else was out there, especially since I think I had a pretty good rookie season. And so, but I always left the door open that I, would return to London, if everything played out.
Right. Okay. So have any teams been interested? Have you been talking to a few teams about possibly transitioning?
I have. I've mostly gotten offers to be a wide receiver 3. And I understand that, just because of so many players being in the league. But I felt I had a pretty good, like I said, a pretty good rookie season to the point where I wanted to try to get wide receiver 2 if I could. And I was able to speak with the team about wide receiver 2.
Okay. I mean, you had 9 touchdowns this season, so you not too shabby at all.
I appreciate that.
When you were a Boise Mud Dog. Mm-hmm. Tell us about that experience.
It was kind of our team, we kind of went through a learning curve. I thought we were going to do really good off the bat and win almost all of our games. Well, I mean, as you know, coaching and experience and just the players and the game itself is all kind of wild cards. So while we didn't start off too well, we did end up making the playoffs. And unfortunately, we were kind of one and done, but I had a good experience with Boise. Kind of missed that they're not around anymore, but I still do talk to some of the players.
And that's good because you made that connection with people when you first started, and you actually got a chance to be on the field and kind of have your name out there before you got drafted to the pros. So that's
well, I was also with Atlanta as non-contract during season 14.
That's right.
And I still considered all of them really, really good friends. So
what was the difference between Atlanta's locker room and London's? Or was there?
As far as like positivity, there wasn't any difference. I mean, both locker rooms are very positive. It just like I really can't speak too much to that because I've had a lot of things going on in my personal life and wasn't able to be in London's locker room as much as I was Atlanta's. While I was in Atlanta's locker room, there was half of it was COVID, half of it was just working. So I was able to be in there a lot more.
Okay, gotcha. So tell me, Fox, do you plan on participating in the league in any other aspect besides being a player? Don't you do stats?
No, I don't do stats. I really like stats, but just again because I've got a lot going on in my personal life, then I really haven't. I wanted to originally, but I don't own a system. I don't own the game, so I really kind of can't do any of those because I really kind of wanted to coach, like learn the game and learn the aspects of it, the insides and outsides. And that doesn't mean I won't do anything in the future, but as of right now, I'm just still in the back seat as far as anything extra.
Focused. I understand. I definitely understand that. So what is some advice that you have for the upcoming rookies that are getting ready to be drafted?
Well, I'm sure they've heard it from everybody, but talk to everyone. Talk to everyone you can. Don't be annoying, but make sure and hit somebody up. If they don't respond, wait a little while, hit them up again, maybe even a third time. If you get talking with somebody, keep that conversation going. Okay.
And what type of locker room person are you, Fox?
I'm positive. I don't ever try to give off like a negative vibe, like, we lost, this sucks. And I'm just not that kind of person.
Because that's really the last thing you want to hear when you.
Yeah, because I mean, even if you are that kind of person, that can reverberate, for a long time.
Yeah.
Everybody seems to remember the negative things you do instead of the positives. So the more positive you stay, then at least you're keeping your head above water. But people who have questions, find out the answer. I try to help people out.
Right.
I know I didn't do that much in the London locker room because I wasn't there a whole lot, but I try to be a guide. I try to be a leader, and every now and then I'd get in chat and just say hi to people. If I saw somebody that I knew, but a lot of the time, again, like I said, I've just got so much going on.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to really participate in the league as I was during season 14.
So what are you looking for from your new team, if possible? Let's say if you are courted in a sense and you decide to go somewhere else besides London, what are you looking for? What's most important to you?
The most important thing has been stability and longevity. Like when I play for a team, I want to play for them for a long time. I don't want to just play for London one year and then X team this year and then a different team every year and just be a journeyman. I don't want to do that. I want to be someplace where I can, be like, I won't be the roots of the foundation, but I'll be like part of the tree and just keep growing with that organization.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Well, Fox, I'm going to have one more question for you, then I'm going to let you go because I know you're kind of busy. Where do you see yourself in 5 years in the league and in life?
In the league, well, I will hopefully still be here. I have no plans to go anywhere anytime soon. So as far as a team, well, that's to be determined. Of course, you can't say anything and can't speak to 5 years in the future. But in life, then I hope to have moved back home to Chattanooga and have been with my wife for 5 years.
Wonderful. Well, thank you. Thank you, Fox, so much for coming on.
Well, thank you for having me.
Anytime, and please don't be a stranger. If you ever want to just come on, just speak your mind about whatever, I'm here for you. Door is always open.
Okay.
I can't let you go though without giving the last word from you. So that can be a song, that could be a poem, or
oh, you don't want to hear a song?
Wait, why not? Listen.
I'm good. I can karaoke like nobody's business, but there's no music playing, so I ain't gonna do it. There's expectations now at this point, so no, that's not gonna happen. But I'll give a shout out.
Okay, that works. Floor is yours.
All right, I'll just give a shout out to my wife, Amanda. I think during our last game of the season, I gave a shout out to her after I scored a touchdown, but I always give a shout out to her because she's the love of my life, and I wouldn't want anybody else in it.
Beautiful. Well, maybe Amanda can join the league too. Maybe she can join us in the next podcast too.
It's been brought up to me as when's Mrs. Fox Highwind going to join, and I kind of joked with her about it, and she gave me a look. So I was like, that tells me everything I need to know. She's not into football really at all, but she follows me because she knows it's important to me.
Right.
So I think that's really sweet.
It is. And the thing is, that's one of the reasons why I actually got into sports too, because I wanted to be able to have more conversations with my husband about the different things that he was into. So you're into football? Okay, cool. Just teach me about the sport. I'll learn it. Then I can actually understand. So you don't have to explain everything that's happening on the field to me while you're trying to watch the game.
Exactly. Yeah, right.
Yeah, so I definitely get that. Well, thanks, Fox. I'm looking forward to seeing you soon. And when you do sign that contract, please let me know. Maybe I'll have you on.
I absolutely will. Thank you so much, AJ.
You're welcome. Have a good one. Bye.
You too.
All right, everybody, and to end things off for tonight, I have one of the popular rookie class members. I remember actually calling his name a few times for player of the game. He is Mr. Emmanuel Blackman, free safety for the Ottawa Cavalry. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, thank you. You?
I'm doing pretty good, man. And I know you're a little bit under the weather. So I want to thank you so much for taking the time out to join me tonight. I'm not going to hold you too long, but I had to just say hi and get you introduced to the league.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
So can you tell me a little bit about yourself, your name, age, hometown, some interesting facts, and your favorite NFL team?
Okay, so I'm Emmanuel Blackman. I'm 21 years of age. I'm from the UK actually, from London, UK, and I don't really have a team. I've been looking at teams, so I'm looking at Kansas City Chiefs, and I like their quarterback and I like their tight end, so I'm going to say I support them, even though I haven't seen a lot of games because I just recently started watching the NFL. So yeah, that's that. And yeah, that's it.
I mean, hey, if you're gonna pick one, at least that's a good team to go with. You know, I mean, Kansas City is doing pretty good. So give us some interesting facts about you.
So I do business management entrepreneurship. In my spare time, I help out my dad. He owns a pharmaceutical factory, and he's part time as well. He owns a hotel, so I help him out with his hotel. And yeah, I'm a big football. I'm a big soccer fan. I said football, but
no, it's football.
yeah, okay. So I'm a big football fan, and actually growing up, my dad used to own a football team. So
really?
Yeah, so that's all I've really known. And for American football, because I've got a family in America, so every time I went to America, I got told, if you went to school in America, they'll let you play American football. So I said, you know what, let me see what this is about, and that's why I joined SFL.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's nothing wrong with that, because football, I mean, technically you're using your feet only, which is football. I get it, trust me.
Yeah.
So what was the name of the team that your father owned?
So the name of the team was Spare. So he had a youth team, and the name of the youth team was called Spares Football Club, because he used to support a team in England called Tottenham Hotspur. And so that was the name of it. And yeah, it's a nice thing because it gets you into like management and how to handle people, and you know it's a nice thing to do and a nice hobby to have. So that's what I do, and I'm you know learning the business side of it because I'm into entrepreneurship as well, because that's what I do for university. And so yeah, that's that.
Very cool. Very, very cool. So how did you find out about the SFL all the way from the UK?
Yeah, it's actually a funny story. So I was bored. It was August and university hadn't started then. So I was looking for simulator games to play. And I typed up football simulation game. And the SFL came up. So I clicked on it and I'm like, what's this? Simulation football game. This is American football. So I'm like, American football? Do I have to play? Is it like, what do I have to do? So I joined up, and Jacob Clare, he was the first person to ever hit me up and introduce me to the league. He introduced me to it, and he told me, you know, you don't need to play the game. You progress your player, and the game will take care of itself. And he introduced me to my managers and everything, and it was really nice. And ever since then, I've been really hooked, and it's a nice environment, a nice community. So,
why did you choose to be a free safety?
So when I joined, I was looking up positions, and obviously everyone knows who a quarterback is. But then obviously I didn't want to be a quarterback because I didn't know like if I had to play the game myself or not. So I didn't want to mess up the team. So I said, let me choose a position that was like easy. And I was reading up the list, and it said safeties were at the back. So I thought, that's a safety, you didn't really need to do anything because you're standing at the back anyway. So I said, let me be a strong safety because I wanted to tackle people. And when Jacob Clare he texted me introducing me to the league, I told him I wanted to be a safety. He said, if you be a free safety, you can come play for me. I'm like, for you? Sure, why not? Let me put free safety. I got drafted into the cavalry, not his team, but then he was really nice about it, and yeah, we've been cool since.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's been keeping you busy because you got 27 tackles, 11 assists, you have 5 pass deflections, you have 2 interceptions, a touchdown, and 95 yards so far, man. So you have been doing your thing.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So tell me, what is the Ottawa Cavalry's locker room like?
I'd say it's a balance. It's a mix of, you know, fun and I don't know how to fully describe it, but I'd say it's a very fun locker room. You've got people like Achilles Papatonus, who's like really, really funny and like he keeps it lively. And then you've got Javier Vasquez. You know, I think he's a good manager. When I say manager, I don't mean like he's good at the game. I mean he's good at managing people generally, because he's very balanced. He lets you do your thing in the dressing room. He's not like autocratic. He's not going to tell you, hey, Emmanuel Blackman, come do this, come do that. But at the same time, it's like if you're not doing the right thing, you let you know you're doing the right thing, kind of thing. I like that. And I think the dressing room is good. You got Kevin Moose and you got Sean Moore, Matt Scott. Obviously, they're all older than me. You're more experienced, and yeah, it's a balance and a mix, and that's a nice restaurant to be in.
Fantastic, man. So, do you plan on being involved in the league in any other aspect, like writing, or do you want to be a broadcaster or take stats? Now, I know the time difference is about 5 hours.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I do have plans. I wanted to in the future, in the long term, I would like to do some scouting and I would like to learn to be a general manager. I think I can do that. I think that's something I'll be interested in. So yeah, that's definitely something that I would in the long term like to pursue.
Wonderful. Well, I'll be happy to give you some pointers off the air. I got you. Don't worry. All right. So during the draft, do you want to continue to be a free safety, or do you want to explore any other positions?
To be honest, I want to be a free safety. I think my build is good. I think my stats are good. I'm enjoying it. I've progressed my player to a stage and a point where I don't think it would be smart to change totally. But I'm really open to changing if I have to get drafted. Why not? But currently, as things stand, I'd say free safety.
That's where your heart is, defense. I understand. Yeah. I definitely understand. So what do you think about your season so far?
Yeah, I think this season we've been very good. Yeah. When I'm talking the team, we've in every game we played so far this season, I'd say we've not looked second best. In all our games, we've given everything. Sadly, we've lost some, but I'd say that was because this game being a game. You lose some, you win some. It's part of it. We take on the chin. But I say we back ourselves, and you see that today as well when we play Madison.
So how do you and how does the locker room handle the losses? I mean, because everybody's happy when you win, but
yeah.
How do you take it when you lose?
I would say we take it fine. I remember our first game against Annapolis. Scott Patterson, he felt like he let the team down, and he came into the dressing room, the locker room to come and apologize, and everyone was so understanding. Everyone was really telling him not to worry. It's a team game, and I felt like that was the catalyst because it kind of set the tone in the dressing room, the locker room, where it's like if you lose, even though we lose, we still won, and I think we've kept that tradition throughout, and we're always with each other. Whether we win or we lose, we're always with each other.
Yeah, and the thing is, when you're a leader, you tend to take things, because this is a simulation, right? We're not actually out there, but you do have the ownership of your player into where you literally feel like you've been out there on the field. Like when you lose, you really feel like I was out there and I messed up. With me being a quarterback, one of the leaders, if we don't win, I automatically feel like it's my fault. Like something that I didn't do, maybe I threw one too many interceptions. I don't know. But you do kind of get sucked up into that role, and I think that's what I do like about this league, because it's a safe way to play. You're not really getting hurt, except your feelings sometimes.
Yeah.
But yes, it's good stuff. So, last question for you. Well, actually, I have two. What type of team would you like to be drafted to?
Okay. So for me, it's all about, I want to join a team that is that has a never say die attitude. In terms of performances, losses happen. We can all lose. We can win. We can lose. That's normal. But then I don't want to come off the field feeling like we're second best. Even if we lose, I want us to compete. In terms of locker room, I'm an easygoing guy. I can get along with anyone. So for the locker room, I don't really mind. It could be very active. It could not be active. It's not a problem for me. I'm just normal. I'm just easygoing, normal, and just fun to have around.
Okay, because I was gonna ask you that question next. What type of player, what type of person will these teams be bringing into their locker room?
Yeah, you're gonna get. I don't want to big up myself, but I'll say you're gonna get a leader. You're gonna get someone who's gonna try to get everyone's spirit up and try to help out with, let's say, keeping up with progressions and stuff like that. You're gonna get a loyal guy. You're gonna get a guy who's dedicated. who wants to do anything and everything to help the team and to help everyone in the team. And lastly, you're gonna get a guy who wants to lose, because I don't think anyone wants a guy who. Because you're gonna get a guy who wants to win, because I don't think any team wants a guy who likes to lose in there.
Awesome. And to sum things up, where do you think that the Ottawa Cavalry is going to end up? Do you think you're going to be in the playoffs? Think you're going to make it to the championship? I know it's 2 more games left.
Yeah. You know what? Honestly, anytime we've lost, we've gone into the next game and we've dominated it. And at home, apart from Birmingham, we've been very good and we've won. So I'd say until we lose, unless we lose today, I'm going to back us to get into the playoffs. Okay, beautiful. Yeah. Well, you keep up the good work, and more than likely I'm going to be singing your name in lights more. I already know. But it was a pleasure to meet you, Emmanuel, and I do invite you to come back on the show anytime you want to. Normally when I interview the rookies, especially when they're first entering the league, I kind of like to keep up with you during that time. So after you get drafted, we can come back and kind of get your thoughts on that. And then at the end of the season, I'll come back to you and just see how you enjoyed being, in the major leagues and everything. So good luck to you. No problem. I would love to come back.
Awesome. But I cannot let you go, Emmanuel, without giving you the last word. So that can be a song, that can be a poem, or that can be a simple shout out. Right now, the floor is yours.
Okay. So I'm not going to sing or shout from.
Nobody ever wants to sing. What is...
So I'm going to shout out to my brothers in the cavalry, to Javier Vasquez and my co-listener and Tom Welsh for all the good work they do, for everyone in the dressing room, and for everyone in the SFLM who make it a good environment to be in.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Emmanuel. I'm looking forward to seeing you out there on the field today.
Yeah.
And good luck to you, brother.
You too. Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Well, that's it. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate all of you for doing it. Special thanks goes out to Emmanuel and to Benjamin and for Fox for being on the show, sharing a little bit of their experience with us. Always grateful for that. If you want to be on the show, please do not hesitate to ask. My door is always open. Just DM me and we can make it happen. I'm looking forward to bringing you another great podcast next week. But until then, y'all, stay safe, treat each other well. Striker.